recording now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Okay, gang, it's 1 o'clock in the East, and welcome to the September National Sales Call. We've got a good lineup of speakers for you today and good information to share. Also a milestone that we'll walk through momentarily. We have all our speakers on the phone, the sales leadership team, and this is being recorded. We'll send it out. Everyone is muted at this point, so if you have a question, please use the chat feature. Matt will interrupt us, and we'll jump to your question and answer that. We'll shoot for 30 and 35 minutes today to get you back to your day. And with that, we'll dive right in. So here's our agenda. Very typical of what we've done in the past. Opening comments from Joe in just a moment. We'll walk through our 16 sales results today, where we are, what we have to do for the remainder of the year. We'll talk about some new business wins, our organic growth initiative, and then we'll close out our call 30, 35 minutes out. So typical agenda that we go through on a monthly basis. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to our esteemed CEO, Joe Tatum, Walnut Creek, for opening comments. Joe?
Thanks, John. Hey, good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Why don't we jump right into the opening comments. So first of all, just a reminder for our national sales meeting. It's going to be February the 8th through the 10th. We'll be back in the Westin Lake Las Vegas. We did actually explore other sites. Just for the travel factor, we decided to go back to Lake Las Vegas. We'll continue to explore the sites, but the place has treated us well for 2 years in a row. 2 years, 2 or 3, John?
3 years.
3 years. All right, so this will be our 4th. So maybe time for a change next year, but or 18, but in 17, February the 8th to the 10th, mark your calendars. I wanted to ask John to let me talk about one change for next year, and that is there's going to be a qualification criteria to be able to attend the meeting. So if you'll look, the criteria is here, and it's really kind of in 3 parts. Validated producers with a 2-year average of 75,000 or greater in new revenue are eligible to attend. Validating producers selling over 125,000 in 16 are eligible to attend. So in other words, if you had a bad year, the average helps you. If you have a good year, then the same thing. So it's either an average of 75 over 2 or 125 this year. And non-validated producers in good standing and meeting established objectives are eligible to attend in 2017. So if someone's just started and they're non-validated, still in that validation period, they'll be able to attend. We've run the metrics on it. It does exclude a few folks, but then again, if you're not meeting these criteria, then culturally we're moving towards this is a producer meeting. So that's the direction we're going. Any questions on that? Give me a buzz. Talk to your sales leader. Talk to John if you have questions on it. Next slide. So wanted to give a shout out to Jamal Molden. Jamal joined us as a SEAL, is now transitioning to the Collegiate Solutions team effective September the 1st, and he's going to focus in the Southeast on both student health and intercollegiate sports. So if you were not already aware and had sent Jamal a note, why don't you drop him a note, tell him congratulations. Excited to see him join the ACS team. And the summer sales contest, this was actually was fun. We had 2 winners in Winsett, North Carolina, first and second place. If you guys haven't seen the video of when they announced, they actually shot a video. It's pretty hilarious. And then also Sandy McDowell in Overland Park won the 3rd place. So a lot of fun. Got a lot of great chatter on that. I think the employees truly enjoy it. With that, John, I'm going to kick it back to you to talk about 2016 sales goals.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Joe. Good stuff there. I will note our return to the Westin Lake Las Vegas will be a bit different in 2017. Many of you may have heard that the property is undergoing upfit, and all of the guest rooms and the lobbies will be upfitted before we arrive. I think their target date to complete is sometime in November 16. So we'll have a fresh new experience in our guest rooms as well as the lobbies. The conference center will not be updated by the time we go back to the national sales meeting, but we will have a fresh new Westin Lake Las Vegas for our 2017 meeting. So we'll all look forward to that. So turning our attention to our 16 sales goal, we're moving absolutely in the right direction. This is a slide we look at each month, which is our written new business by goal versus a goal for each month. So I'll draw your attention to the August graph, which our blue line is well above the red. That's what we like to see. Congratulations to the sales team for a great August, $1,487,000 in new revenue on a goal of $1.2 million. So fantastic work by the sales team there. Congratulations for a great August being over goal. It sure is a lot of fun. One of the things about August that we look back on is we entered August with a very high pipeline coverage ratio. So that gave us a good deal of comfort, and it came true for the month of August. So the forward-looking indicator of pipeline coverage is something that's very important to our success and really is a telltale sign. So congratulations to the team for August. Your next place to look is in September. Our goal is $902,000, and we've written 174 to date. Our pipeline right now is $599 for the remainder of September. So we don't even have 1 times coverage. And of that pipeline, there's just shy of $200,000 in the 50 to 75% range. So we've been talking about September for a while as a group and as a sales leadership team. The coverage ratio has not been there to date, and we're seeing it bear out as to where we are now. So unless something miraculous happens, we're probably going to miss the month of September. So hopefully there's some stuff out there that that can get closed in that 50 to 75 or even 10 to 30 range to help us get closer to September. So continue to push there. The sales leadership team looking hard at our 50s and 75s in September to try to get those across the line to get as much sold for the month as we possibly can so that we don't get behind the 8 ball. Last item here is Q4, October, November, December. You'll see where we are from a goal standpoint and actual off to a good start for the month of October already. We also have good coverage there at 7.9, 4.9 for November, and 4.8 for December. If you rewind 3 or 4 weeks ago, those numbers were significantly lower, so thank you very much for the sales team for responding to our request for additional pipeline coverage there. And we did that, so continue to push that in there for a big Q4. Next, we'll transition over to our written new business versus goal by business unit. A big shout out to the Pan Am and Fresno team. Congratulations for exceeding your 2016 annual sales goal last week. I'll draw your attention to the third graph over. A goal of 2.785 and sold year to date of 2.825. Congratulations, Steve Martin, Fred Pisana, Greg Merrill, and the whole team out there. That's great work. As we talked about last month, ACS has exceeded their goal at 104%. Fantastic work there, Team ACS. Keep up the good work. Who's next? Either Georgia or WRB hopefully will hit their goal in the next month or so. Obviously, to hit our overall goal of 8.3, we need to run through the finish line here. So even if you're at your goal, it's not time to rest. We need to continue to work hard to hit that goal for the remainder of the year. We look at this on a regular basis, which is our pipeline analysis by sales team. I'll draw your attention to the bottom in the red text. Current pipeline coverage by business unit is here. So we clearly need to get additional pipeline in Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida as well. So continue to work hard on the pipeline. And I've added one slide this month that comes in our sales dashboard report we get weekly. And this is our pipeline coverage year over year. So the blue bars are 2016 and the red are 2015. And we're doing very well on a year over year from a pipeline standpoint. So just for the month of October, last year we were at 5 times coverage. We're at 7.9 this year. So good work there, but clearly we can't stop. We need to continue to push forward on our pipeline coverage. So please be diligent around that. Also, our sales goal leaderboard, I think this is the third month we've shared this information with you. So here are our sales goal leaderboard for everybody over 100% of their annual sales goal. So congratulations to this group. Continue the great work and continue to push hard to exceed your goal even more so. This is through September the 4th. The date is through September the 4th. Here is the group in the 50 to 100% of sales goal. So making good progress toward hitting their goal, and hopefully we'll see a number of these sales team members move over into the 100% plus of their sales goal in our next national sales call. And then this is our less than 50% of annual sales goal group here. I do see a lot of Q4 stars in here, sluggers like Paul Tamburi and Mike Weintraub. I think he's in the actually 50 plus, but clearly this is the group that can help us get through Q4, hit our goals, and get much closer to their annual sales goal. So continue to focus there. We will talk about 2017 sales planning in a few moments that will tie directly into this. But before we do that, we're going to talk about some recent new business wins. I'm going to kick it over to Jonathan McGann, the Eastern Region Sales Director, to share some wins from the East. Jonathan?
Thanks, Coop. I've got a couple to talk about. This, to me, is the highlight of these calls and a lot of fun. The first one is Sen Freight. It's one of Andy Sharp's. This just reminds me that I look at Pan Am all the time and how deep they are and how much expertise they demonstrate in the ag space. Well, Andy's the walking poster child for that in transportation. So this account, we actually wrote the auto on it, I think it was last November. It was a big chunk, but Andy stuck with it. We got a small piece for the cargo, I think July 1, and then this $21,791 is actually the physical damage for the trucks. So we now have rounded out, for the P&C anyway, the entire account for auto, and then what we do in TransSafe with the physical damage and motor truck cargo. The interesting story here was Andy's dad had written this account 15 years ago. They had lost it, but Andy, with persistence and diligence, stayed up with the son, and now it's sort of the next generation. So turning the page, and again, demonstration of specialization, expertise, and our commitment to the industry. So well done, Andy. And Andy, by the way, is at 277 year to date, so crushing it. I believe the top of the leaderboard for the East region. So way to go, Andy, and hope you have a big Q4. The next one, and we're actually going to hear from Stephen in a few minutes, so I won't steal all of his thunder, but he's had a great month or so with 2 wins. One is PRTI, and the other one's Cure. They were both referrals. PRTI is in his wheelhouse. He does a lot of recycle and waste management, and this is a sort of a new, it's called product recovery technology. They've got huge growth plans. They want to go international. He got together with Debbie Gravely and Brian Sammons. They got a great program together with Chubb. They went out, they did the road show, they let the underwriters meet the C-suite, which we're big fans of, and it was that partnering growth and consultative sale that really helped them get over the hump. So a great $15,000 win, and sort of more to come as they continue to develop and roll out that platform. Cure is kind of crazy. Cure is a healthcare staffing company, not at all, in this vertical or, where we've been shooting, but it was a referral. What we talk about a lot of our sales training, they had pain, they needed work comp. They're a staffing company, and that's not an easy, bar to get over. And again, leaning on the team, they found a specialty program with QBE and some flexibility in payments and sort of future states of where they wanted to grow, but just a wonderful consultative partnership from the first call to a close, where we're helping these guys further their business. We're not just selling them insurance. So a wonderful example, and a great win for Stephen. I think he's about $75K year to date, and look forward to seeing him at Summit Club next year. And with that, I'll hand it over to Fred Basana in the West.
Thanks, JD. Well, our first one up this month, again, a repeat performer for us, Dan Mello, who came to us last year. Again, got over $100,000 for the current year on the We Paint, $10,000 in new revenue, and again, kind of the whole process here from Dan's standpoint. Started with this as a little smaller deal. Again, kind of a bulldog there, kept at it, and was able to close it. And we are excited, and Dan continues to do wonderful things for us out of the Stockton office. Great job, Dan. Our second one, here is our superstar in the Fresno office, Javier Hernandez. Again, Mendoza Farm Labor, $40,000 in new rev, and again, for those of you who've had the pleasure of seeing Javier work or just watching his consistency on a year-on-year basis, nothing that Jav does surprises any of us. You know, we expect great things from him every year, put a lot of heat on him. Has his son now joining him in the business as well. So we're looking for wonderful things from the Hernandez family in the last part of 16 into 17 and beyond. And again, Javier, wonderful job. We really appreciate your consistent performance. Just fantastic. And I think we have one more. Good old Jeanette down in Porterville, J.A. Ramos Farming. Again, a nice little $12,500 hit for Jeanette, and again, this is a little off of her beaten path, but getting into the ag world as well. Sensational start, and again, we're excited for the rest of 16 and 17 as Jeanette just kind of gets off of some of her commercial business into the ag space, getting a lot of support down there from Greg and the crew in Fresno, and again, we're excited going forward. Thanks again, Jeanette. Good work. Johnny, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Fred and Jonathan. Great stuff there. A lot of good wins. Tough to pick from all these good wins that we've got going on right now. So that's great news. So moving on with our call for the day, moving into our organic growth initiative. This is an area that we began this year and gotten really good feedback from. And this is our Ascension value proposition. So clearly we know with our advisory selling methodology that having a strong value prop is very, very important. So I'm not going to read this to you again. We all know what a value prop is. I think we all understand the value of having a very strong value proposition. So today we've got Stephen Billings joining us. Stephen was a SEAL team member from 2014. He joined us from Waste Management, focusing in the waste haulers, recycling space. And has really done an outstanding job for the firm overall. Stephen is based in the Charlotte office. He won, it was a 2015 Summit Club winner with just over $125,000 of new business sold in 2015, and he's well on his way to the 2016 Summit Club as well. So we've asked Stephen to join us today and just give an overview of his overall value proposition, how he approaches prospects, how he approaches clients, and how he differentiates himself from the competition. So, Stephen, feel free to jump in and walk us through your value proposition.
I appreciate that, John. Really, my goal with any company is to look, sound, and feel different. Whether that's on the initial collateral that I send out, the information discussed through email or over the phone, or just my past industry expertise and that I'm focused kind of in a niche industry. So topics that I really discuss are driver retention and selection best practices, DOT and OSHA compliance, safety, overall, and also companies' overall cost of risk. And that kind of leads me to a process that I've developed and honed here in-house that we call developing a risk profile. So, and this is basically a strategic way to develop an initial risk score for companies. Think of it kind of like your own personal credit score, but it's a benchmarking tool that allows the company to see where they are as far as an overall risk and some areas, that they could focus on moving forward. We do that up front on our dollar, and then we're able to turn around, put pen to paper, put a plan in action, and then that just, puts it in perspective that they need us moving forward, that we get what they're trying to do, and they see us as a long-term partner. So those are some things that I really focus on to get away from cost and to be seen as a true partner, moving forward both in the short and long term.
Thank you, Stephen, for that. That's good information, and I think Stephen is certainly a rising star within the firm and has a fantastic future with us. So thank you for sharing that with us, and keep up the great work, Stephen. Now we'll move into a little more of our blocking and tackling, which we call the sales playbook. It's what we do on a regular basis here within Ascension and within the Organic Growth Initiative. First off, we'll turn our attention to our 2017 sales planning process. It is that time of year again, so it snuck up on us as usual. In our sales leadership meeting 2.5 weeks ago in Walnut Creek, we walked through the whole process for 2017 sales planning. So the highlights of that is we'll use the same format as 2016. I think this is our third year running on that. We simplified this format, gotten good feedback, and we've gotten really, really good sales plans from that. So we're using the same format. We did add one question, which is number 6. You'll see on the right side of the slide at the bottom. What worked in 2016 for you, and what did you learn that could be improved upon? Just to get you to think back like last year and see what worked and maybe what didn't to reformulate your plans for 17. So very, very similar from what we did last year, and hopefully that'll be good for the group to develop the plans that were developed for 2016. The sales leaders will distribute the templates and timelines for your sales teams. I think most of them are already out at this point, so please be checking for that. I did take a page out of Ed Page's book, and I found a quote that I thought was good, especially for the 17 sales planning process. Here at the bottom, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. And Zig Ziglar said that. I think that's very true. Part of our overall process is planning, but it's also execution. So please take this very seriously, as you have in the past. Work closely with your sales leaders. We begin our 2017 sales planning process. Here's our timeline that we shared with the sales leadership team, just so everyone knows where we're going. Really, I'll draw your attention to the third bullet down. September 16th is when we let the sales plans return to your sales leaders. We'll spend some time with those to review those, work with the individual sales team members on those, and then we'll consolidate those and review with corporate leadership in late September. All this is really backed up to our 2017 budget process and when we need to share that budget, our first draft of the budget with the board of directors. So that's a lot of what we did in Walnut Creek a few weeks back, is working with our finance team to make sure we can get this done on time. I will ask you to take a look at the very last bullet point. It's something that we're going to do differently in 2016 than we've done in the past. Once these plans are put together and shared with the leadership team, we'd like to spend some time for the sales team members to present those to the sales leadership group outside of the one-on-one scenario. So we're going to set up either some in-person meetings or potentially even some webinars or Skypes to do this. But you'll have the opportunity to walk through your sales plan, your 2017 sales plan, with the sales leadership team. So you can take pride in what you're doing and help get some ideas on other things you may do to hit your sales goals for 2017. So that's a new twist to our 17 sales planning process, which we think will be very cool overall. Next are PPC launches for September. So if your name is up here, either in the East, Collegiate, or the West, you committed to a sales PPC launch for the month of September. Those are very important, as we've mentioned in the past. We feel that the PPCs that we ran in 14 helped get us over our 15 goal based on what the sales were, and we're tracking well this year as well for sold revenue attached to the PPCs that we've launched previously. So please work with your sales leader to make sure these get out and get out on time and also accurately. We continue to take a look at opportunity sales stage definitions. I think these get more and more important as we get toward the end of the year We're very, very focused on our 50s and 75s right now, specifically in the month of September, to see what we can do to get those across the line to really make up that gap with our pipeline coverage ratio. But please keep this in mind and focus on moving your opportunities through these different sales stages. I will give a shout out to the sales team. They've done a very nice job moving toward the 30s, 50s, and 75s here. So thank you very, very much for that. We've seen a pickup in our opportunities moving through the sales stages, and we'd like to continue to see that as well. So I won't walk through the definitions. I think we know those well. I'll simply call it to your attention to review and continue to push forward with that. And if you haven't been in Salesforce in a while, this is where you move the sales stages through, which is on the opportunity information screen. The drop-down box that has the red circle around it is where you move it from 10, 30, 50, 75, and then either closed, won, or closed, lost. So thank you for paying attention to this so far, and please continue to move those opportunities through. As we get closer to hitting our $8.3 million goal, we'll be looking at that more and more as we go forward. Last item before we close out for the day is sales training. So our fall 2016 sales training schedule. We're scheduled with George Lucas for both of these dates at this point, October 11th and 12th in Charlotte. It will be an East Region sales meeting and training session. More information will follow from Jonathan McGann around location, time, etc. So please put that on your calendar. Also, we locked down a couple of dates for the West team. So that'll be October 18th and 19th in Fresno, California. There'll be a sales training session there. Fred will have more information to follow around logistics for those. We're working closely with George to develop an agenda for this, something we're trying to stay outside the box and something we haven't done before, so you won't hear the same information over and over again. So we're cognizant to keep this fresh from what we've done in the past. So please make sure those are on your calendar and look for more information to follow. And last but not least, just a reminder of our Summit Club, which is April 27th to 30th, 2017. Top right are our qualifiers to date for the 2017 Summit Club. Let's see, Twan is the most recent member after the month of August to join the Summit Club. So congratulations to Twan at $151,000 in new revenue. I feel that in our October call, we'll have significantly more on the list. There are a number of people knocking on the door. Dan Mello is right there, Jorge Laura, Danny Firestone, Marco Figueroa, as well as Jonathan Lancaster. So continue to push hard, hit that $150,000 goal so you and your guests can go enjoy a few days in beautiful Mexico and have a lot of fun. So with that, we'll end our call right on our 30-minute timeline for today. Thank you for all your great work, and continue to push hard to hit our September sales goal. Thank you very much.